Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of the Commcare training. My name is Shafar Law. Okay, today we are going to try and resolve some of the challenges you guys have been facing while trying to create your forms. From the YouTube comment section and also on the WhatsApp platform, I've seen some of you posted some challenges. Okay, let's take one of the recent challenges by I think Noah. He said he wants us to revisit the session whereby you have a follow-up form, and you'll be able to see, or the app should be able to show you when the patient is coming for the next ANC visit. Okay, so we're going to create a simple form to show or to exhibit when the patient is supposed to come for the next ANC visit. The app is going to tell you when the patient is coming for the next visit. Okay, as usual, you navigate to your Comcare HQ. Um, if you have your account already, which I am sure most of you have your accounts already. Okay, so we are going to try to create an app now to show us that. Okay, so this is just the window, or let me say the page, where I hope all of you can navigate up to this what do you call it, up to this step. You create your project, create your application, and create your forms, right? So the level I am now is where I want to create my application. Let me call this application ANC Visit, right? Okay, so now I want to create the my survey or my case list. Like I told you, or like you know already, for survey collection, collect data once. You just collect data once. There is no need of for follow up. Maybe you just want to carry out a survey just once. So, but in case of case list, when you want to track when you want to track an item over time, you get it, is anything you want to track or monitor over time. That is when you use a case list. So, since we want to have a follow up form where there will be revisits. So we are selecting a case list. Okay, I want to name my case list here. Instead of case list, I want to name it to be, let me call it ANC lists, right? Okay, so in other words, it is the menu, and the menu with two forms, the registration form and follow-up form. That is how it will appear on your application. Okay, so I have a case list here and a case detail. Okay, I want to activate some settings where you have the some of the things I'll be needing. I want to activate this, this also this, and let me just activate most of the items here. I may likely need them while I'm working. Okay, so now back to my case list. Okay, so you can see I have my case here. I can still label it if I want, but let me just leave it as case. This is the case list and this is the case details. So I have my two forms, the registration form where I'll create um, the, what do you call it, the registration, or let me say where you make entries. You get it, where you register the patients. If the patient walking for the first time, you register that patient. Subsequent VTs will be captured under follow up, right? Okay, so now let me just start by creating the form. Let's see. The first item we have there is, let's say, name of patient, right? And second, let's see, we have phone number. I want to create a validation for phone number where the health worker or the mobile user will just have to make entries just by how do I put it? The health, we have our phone number in Nigeria is just 11 digits. So just to avoid the mobile user not to make mistake while entering the data, maybe he might mistakenly enter less than or greater than 11 digits. So we want to avoid that by restricting the mobile user to be able to enter just either 11 digits, sorry. So, and this is the simple syntax for this string. Then this question has to be equal to 11 digits. You guys will have to bear with me. I'm very, very tired and exhausted. It's already late now, so I have to just stay up to do this video because I was very busy during the daytime. It's around 11:43 a.m. now. Okay, so now let's say the next item we'll have is should be date of birth. Let me call it date of birth, right? So I want to see the age. I hope you still remember how to calculate the age from the date of birth. It's just the usual way. If you want to calculate the date of birth um, of somebody, let's say he was born in 1984, how do you do that? You subtract 1984 from 2022, right, to give you his age. So the same way happens here, but with just a simple syntax. This is how you go about it. We have today. If you are very familiar with Excel, when you type today in an Excel cell, it gives you the date, the current date of today, right? The current day of today. That is what you get. So it's just like saying today's date minus the date of birth, right? But you have to define it for the app to be able to understand what you are trying to say. So this is a date function. You you specify it, right? So the this whole syntax say you divide it by 365, because if you just subtract today from the date of birth, you have the number of days between the what do you call it, between today to the date of birth. It will give you the number of days, but when you divide it by 365, it will give you the age, sorry. Divide by 365.25 considering the lunar um, years. So want to have it in a whole number. If you leave it like this, you have your answers in a decimal form. But we want to have it just our answer our age. You cannot have age in a decimal point, right? You can only have it in a whole number. So to avoid having it in decimal number, so we are going to use an integer function. So int, right? Be very careful with your parentheses. This covers this, right? And this goes with this, and this goes with this. Good. So we are good to go. So if you so wish, you can make your age visible. Mind you, this is I used hidden value. You cannot see it visible. You cannot be visible, but you can make it visible by using the label um, question type, just like the notes you have in either ODK or Kobo. So I will say, I'll call it okay, age of change, right? So good. Let me just show you the little thing I did here. This is the form registration form, patient name, let's say Jafar. So I didn't consider having it in first name and last name. So my phone number 07035334933. Sorry. If you notice, if I should add anything here, it will give me an error. Right? This answer is outside the allowed range. You can equally have a validation message to be displayed. Instead of this answer is outside the allowed range, you can just write something you want to show. Okay, so the next thing is the date of birth. Let's say the date of birth is around 1984, for instance. 1984. Okay, September 15th. That's my date of birth. Yeah. Okay, so you can see we have age of patient is 38, right? So good. We are good to go. This is just a small form we have created. So now, um, remember, we want to make it in such a way that the follow-up form will show us when the patient is coming for the next visit. So I will just use some features of the Comcare, some advanced features. Let me put it that way. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I will go to the follow-up form, right? Let me just delete this. Okay, in the follow-up form, I want to create a question, a hidden value question. I want to call it ANC count, right? Okay. So on this ANC count, I want to, okay, let me save it first. This ANC count, I want to register it under case properties, right? When we say case property in Comcare, case property is just any value filled out in a form that is saved to the case. You get it. Any value that is filled out in a form and is saved to the case is called save case property. It can be used to refer a later form. Maybe you can just use it for some logic expression and whatever. So now, like I said, I want to add this to that question now. I'm selecting it, the ANC count now. I'm adding it to my case management on the follow-up form. So I'll save it and go back to my form. You find it under the case here, right? So I want to make use of it now. I'll use this function. It's called, I think, coalesce also. I can't even pronounce it well too. So what this collect does is that you can have a function whereby um, a particular calculation is triggered when a particular variable has changed. Change in a particular variable will make the calculation trigger. You get it? The calculation is triggered by change in a particular variable. You get it? So that's what coalesce does. So now I'll have my bracket. I'll say, okay, if ANC, if there is a change in ANC count, right? If there is a change in ANC count, so trigger this calculation. So what it will do for me is that whenever, I saved it as a case property. So whenever the form is opened, anytime you open the form, you try to access the form, it will count one for me. If you access it for the first time, it will count one. For the second time, count two. For the third time, count three. That's how it will be doing. You get it? So I'll save this. So I can equally add some question to this. I can say, okay, are you having any complication? Okay, yes. Second, no. Okay. So let me just say another question. If yes, okay, I don't want to have so many items here. Let me just have a multi-check question. Let's say if yes, this is medication. Hmm? One, let's say we have drug one, right? What are those drugs they give to ANC patients? Two, let's say we have folic acid, right? Abi? So I'm using our Nigerian English, Abi. For those that for non-Nigerians, Abi is just a regular what do you call it? Like you get it? Do you understand? Something like that. So the third we say, okay, counseling, counseling. Okay, okay. And I want okay, I'm gonna save this. So you just check all this. You check all this and okay now. So the next thing I will be doing is I want to create add all this to a case property where I will be referring to it. So now I'll click on this gear, the setting gear there. I'll add all my questions to the case property under the case management. So add, right? So I'm adding phone number. Name, the name you are seeing there is a default, what do you call it? Variable in Commcare when you come to case property or case list or whatever. The name is just a default. You find it there automatically. So I have date of birth. So and I'll be adding. I've added date of birth, right? So I'm adding age. What other variable do we have? Okay, phone number. Do we have any variable again? No, that's all. So good. I've added all my variables to the case property. So I will want to now go back to the ANC list, like to the menu, and make use of those variable I've added to the case list. So I'll now go to case list. The variables I want to see immediately I log into the app, the form, registration form, follow-up form after registering, the first page in the follow-up form, or what I want to see. Okay, I said I want to see the name, right? I want to see the, let's see, date of birth, and what else? I want to see the age. I want to see the where my ANC count. Okay, let me just leave date of birth to the case detail, right? So I will add some one variable again to this, which is the next visit. We have not done that. So let me just come back here. Okay, I have here, I want to see the name. I want to see the age. I want to see the date of birth. I want to see the phone number, then ANC count, right? So date of birth is date, and I want to see it in this format. This is a phone number, um, and ANC count. That's all, right? So now let me just quickly um, show you how the form is going to look like. Or let's say, let me just finish creating the, let me just finish creating the next visit so that we can just have it all together. So I want to go back to my follow-up form. So I want you to listen to this aspect attentively. Just look at what I'm doing very, very well. So now this, like I said, this is assuming values. If I open the form for the first time, it will take one, second time two, third time three. That's how it's going to be changing. Or rather, let me just show you how it will assume values. It will take values before we'll now start. I'll show you how to create the next visit variable. Okay, and I want to launch my BlueStack. I want to run the app on BlueStack. Okay, this is my BlueStack. So, but before then, um, let me deploy the application. All right, make a version, and I'll publish. Let me copy the code. Then I'll go back to my BlueStack. Go to App Manager. Let me uninstall this. Okay, I'll install this one. It's just the same way like when you deploy an app to your phone. So I'm just running it on the computer directly. So the app is installed. This is it, ANC Visit, right? So now the username, let me see. I've created my user already, my mobile user. All right. I hope all of you are familiar. You can equally create a user. So I'm logging in now. Okay. So this is my phone, ANC visit. Okay, let me see first registration. I want to call this patient Jafar. Jafar Lawal. Um, okay. His phone number is 80 23445678. Right. Then the date of birth. Let's say is around 1986 September 18. Good. So age of patient is around 36 years. Finish. Okay. So let me go to I have now registered this patient. So let me go to the follow up form for you to see. So you can see this is Jafar. But under the ANC count, it has not recorded anything. Why? Because I just registered Jafar. I have not provided service to Jafar. So now let me click on Jafar and provide service to Jafar. You can see Jafar Lawal, 36 years old, date of birth is so, and this is the phone number. So I want to provide service to Jafar. Do you have any complications? Let's say yes. Um, the drugs. Counseling, okay. Don't mind me. I just got the counseling spelling as counsel. So there is counseling. So let me click on finish. I've provided service to Jafar. So if I go back to the follow-up form, so did you see ANC count is what? Is one, just like it's telling me this is the first visit, right? I hope you understand. So go to Jafar again. You say ANC count one. Provide service to Jafar. Yes or no. Finish. And go back to follow form. So you can see it has counted two. So this is just like the second visit. So, okay, let me register another patient again. Register another patient. Okay, let's see. This is this is Shadi Solomon, right? What's her number? 09056783422. Huh? Date of birth, um, let's say 1999. So Shadi is 23 years old. Before we create the next visit, we're going to have a validation for the date again, whereby you can only have the date in the past. You know, sometimes the mobile user might make a mistake of having the date in future. Good. So finish. So let's go to the follow-up form. So can you see now Shadi is 23 years old, but I have not provided any service to Shadi. I just captured her, I just registered her. So if you provide a service to her, no complication, drugs, finish, um, then follow up. You can see it has counted one. So now um, let's go back and see how we can have this application now show us when is the next visit for Jafar and when is the next visit for Shadi. So I'll go back to my application. Sorry, have I been recording, sir? Okay. Subhanallah. What is this?